Hey, it's me. Welcome to my Class of 2024 graduation special. As you know, I am graduating college. As per what I've done for my high school graduation, I am now making my college graduation special. This whole video is basically what I've done leading up to graduation, and you're gonna see my graduation ceremony. So my goal for this video is not only to share my graduation experience with you, but to create a video that I can look back on for years to come. There are a lot of good memories that I know I can reflect on. I love that I can put them in video format and look back on them years from now. And that's what I've done with a lot of my YouTube videos. So it's really great that I can do that. Without further ado, let's celebrate. So this year I attended what is called Eagle Fest. Now Eagle Fest is a campus-wide event, and I'm pretty sure it was open to the public too, where you could go and get some food from food trucks, which is always great. And there were lots of different things to do. Now, I went with Kaylee, which you all saw when I went to the Winter Wonderland Gala. So we had a really good time. We got some snow cones, which were delicious. She got cherry and I got mango. And they actually tasted like real fruit flavor. I really appreciated that. There was also tie-dyeing, which I have to show to you today. And I think you're really gonna like the results. We were allowed 2 shirts. So I did 2 shirts for myself. There was also axe throwing, which I tried, and I only hit 1 of the 5 shots, but Kaylee somehow got that perfect one on video, and so I'm just gonna say that's how the experience was altogether. And finally, there was a custom car plate station where they would let you design it online. They had a little QR code that you could scan and then send it to them, and they would print your design for you within 30 minutes. There was a limited supply, but I was lucky enough to get one that I'm really happy with. So now let's rinse our tie-dye. Oh, nice. There's white still on it. Oh, yes. Sweet. Oh, yay, it's white. Okay. Not bad. Not too shabby. So now that the shirts have been washed and dried, I can show you the finished product. So this is the first shirt that I did. I went for a blue and purple look. On the front of it, it says Eagle Fest, which is great. That's just the front. The whole shirt actually turned out looking pretty good. I was just glad that there are still white portions on it because I don't want a shirt that's fully saturated in color. I like a little bit of white to break it up. But I'm really happy with how this one turned out. And the second shirt actually turned out better than I thought it would. It's orange and purple. And no, I was not trying to go for text colors. I realized that I don't wear a lot of orange, and I want to incorporate small amounts of it into my wardrobe. And I thought that purple would look good with it. So that's what happened here. I went for I mean, I was just folding it at this point because I felt pressured because there was a line behind us. So it ended up being near straight lines on it. And I actually like this one too. I think my favorite's definitely the first one, but I am not upset with how this came out. And then I am dying to show you the custom plate that I made. I'm so proud of this because I just love it a lot. And it's Chance. It says Chance, the bestest boy. And it's a picture that he and I took when I was taking some grad pictures. He just takes really photogenic pictures, and I wanted to celebrate the occasion and put him on my custom plate that will never be on my car, ever, because I don't want it to get damaged. I absolutely love this thing. The process was really easy, and I hope that if they go back next year, that other people will get to do this, because it was really fun. So now we're going to decorate my cap. As you know, this is common practice for graduates to put some designs on their cap. That's the only part of our graduation attire that can be decorated. So why not take full advantage of the situation and decorate it? I have a few ideas. It's going to be music related because that's what my whole life is geared toward right now. So let's do it! So the cap didn't end up taking me a long time. It took me longer to figure out the design than anything. I wanted something that would be simple enough to read and bright. So I went with a treble clef and bass clef heart. And I added some sequins off camera because I felt like it needed something, but I wasn't sure what. So I spent some time noodling around figuring out what it needed. And that's what I came up with. This will be the front of my head. So then that means the tassel will go right here. And then I'll switch it over to the left side. Didn't take me long. I just used some golden yellow paint and some purple paint. And I used cardstock. People who are decorating caps, you need to know that sometimes tape doesn't work. I don't want to glue it. I know that it's only going to be worn by me and on this one day, but I don't like the thought of having glue residue everywhere. So here's what I did. I used Command Velcro. So that is Velcro. You can see where I attempted to use double stick tape, and that's on all four corners. And you might think, oh, that's too noticeable from the sides. It's really not. I used Velcro, and it works just fine. You can color the Velcro if that's really an issue for you. It's not for me. That's that. And now I'm going to do something that some of you may remember that I did for my high school graduation. I wrote a speech, and I'm going to read that to you. So just sit back, relax, and listen to me talk. I'm graduating from college. That's something I never imagined I would say. The past 4 years have been a journey, that's for sure. The class of 2024 has been through a lot of crazy things. Most of us started in 2020, so you can imagine that my college experience has been a little crazy. Allow me to paint a picture of what my life has looked like for the past 4 years. Freshman year, I didn't know what was in store for me. It was 2020, and the COVID-19 pandemic had just shut everything down. Even though I planned on going to college, I wasn't sure what the semester would look like. Throughout that summer, I was receiving emails about the changes to SOAR, and the transition to virtual classes. Honestly, it was terrifying to think about. Not only was I scared to move away from home, but now there were all these things that just weren't normal. The future felt uncertain. On the day I moved in, emotionally, I was struggling. I cried so much that morning just dreading the trip. I made my mom drive my car all the way because I felt so overwhelmed. And I'm so thankful she drove me because I'm not sure what that trip would have looked like with me crying. When we pulled into my dorm's parking lot, I remember feeling sick to my stomach. The move-in situation was less than ideal. We had 4 hours to move in that year, scheduled because of the precautions. After those 4 hours, my parents couldn't come back to my dorm again. Anyone not living in that residence hall was not allowed to come back at any time. That added a whole new level of fear for me. Just having that time restraint alone made things even more difficult. But as if nothing could be worse, we had to haul all of my belongings up 4 flights of stairs while wearing masks. You can imagine how terrible that experience was, especially for a freshman. On my first day, I remember waking up extra early around 6 a.m. I went to the caf and got breakfast, then walked 10 minutes back to my dorm for my first class, a harmony lesson. This was on Zoom. I didn't even have that first class because of technical difficulties. I remember feeling as though this new way of being wouldn't work out. Even though I was glad to have my hour back, I felt like these online classes wouldn't be as helpful as we initially thought. There were few in-person classes, including my oral techniques class, flute lessons, and rehearsals, but there was little human interaction. We wore face masks and distanced ourselves exactly as the CDC guidelines said. I desperately hoped for normal in-person classes, but that was something I wouldn't fully experience until about junior year. However, during sophomore year, we began having a combination of Zoom and hybrid classes. I got to experience more in-person events, which was a ton of fun. This is when I began getting to know my music colleagues for more than just their voices and profile pictures on Zoom. Although we still wore masks most of the time, I had marching band again. I loved college marching band. I felt like we were truly a marching concert band because of the quality of sound we put out. Additionally, it was a lot less stressful than high school band because there are no collegiate band competitions. I wish there were, but at least we didn't have to focus on that so much. On top of many things I experienced, one of the biggest achievements for me was getting into chorale, the auditioned choral ensemble at Tech. This was a huge accomplishment for me, someone who had only started choral singing the year before. I still remember the first time we ever sang without masks on in rehearsal. It was surreal. I felt exposed, but also kind of giddy, like it was the first time I'd sung with that group again. I could see the expressions that we had all been hiding behind those masks. One of my best memories during this year was going to Costa Rica with chorale. I made many great memories while there and bonded with some of my now closest friends there. That trip is still one of my favorite college memories, even though it seemed to happen so early in my time. At the start of junior year, most of my classes were now in person. Most of my classes were back-to-back in the music building with 10-minute breaks in between. I remember feeling a little overwhelmed during the first couple of weeks because I was in the music building all day. Eventually, I got used to it and I really enjoyed my time. This is when I finally developed the relationships I have today. The music education majors had most classes together, even some of our classes outside of the BFA. Sitting beside them in class really forced us to talk, which I don't regret at all. These are the people I will be teaching alongside for the rest of my career, and I'm so glad we got to have some time to get to know each other, even though I wish we had gotten even more time during our first 2 years. During this year, we were all stressing over taking the praxis, which determined if we started residency on time. I remember feeling a little nervous as I drove to the testing center on the day of my exam, but luckily, I passed, and that was a huge milestone for me. Also during this year, I had my junior flute recital, as well as my final symphony band concert. And while that may sound sad, I remember it being one of the happiest feelings ever. I just love performing. Along with this, chorale went on a performance tour to Orlando, Florida, and I had a lot of fun on that trip as well. I felt like I was on top of the world, to be honest. Now on to senior year. Senior year was one of the biggest years for me. During the entire summer, I was jumping through hoops to get into residency. I was so stressed out not knowing what my final year of my college career would look like. I had to get my CPR, AED, and first aid training as well as a background check. I had to have everything prepared before I could know if I even got into residency. Finally, in late July, I found out that I was going to be placed at a middle school. I was excited because I thought I would enjoy middle school the least. This was my Tuesday-Thursday placement, meaning I only went to this school on those 2 days. The other 3 days were spent in classes. During this time, I was still involved in marching band, wind ensemble, and chorale. These ensembles honestly kept me sane amidst all of the teaching. Just before Christmas break, I found out my second placement was going to be at an elementary school. This placement would be 5 days a week, so there would be no more college classes. Although I was nervous, I felt excited because I wanted to know what it would be like working with littles. Needless to say, I enjoyed it. I completed my EdTPA portfolio with a class at this school, which gave me a chance to dive deep into elementary education. I'm so thankful for the time I got to spend in both of my placements. I really enjoyed both of them, which has broadened my horizons for my teaching career. I know I can tackle any grade level, and I'm confident in that. Let me take a moment to address my graduating class. To the class of 2024, I'm so glad we got to take this journey together. Starting together during COVID-19 and now being on the other side of that, we have been through thick and thin together. We could have backed out when the pandemic was in full swing, but we didn't, and we're resilient for that. On top of that, we've all been through good and bad times. I appreciate that we have always been supportive of each other, and now we get to see each other develop professionally. Now that we have jumped through all of the hoops, I know we're going to do great things. I'm so excited to see how far we can go in the next 10 years. I know things might look a little scary right now, but I know we'll all get things worked out in the end. Allow yourself the time and flexibility to chase your dreams. Always remember that we started for a reason. Never forget what your inspirations were for starting your career path. I know that will keep us all going when we're unsure of the future. Don't lose sight of your dreams. Now to those who have been there supporting me, to my family, friends, and all who have been part of my life. I'm so thankful for the support you've shown me over the past 4 years. I wouldn't be where I am today without the love and encouragement I've received. I'm excited to graduate and see what life has in store for me. Not only did I go through 2 semesters of residency, but I passed EdTPA and graduated with a bachelor's degree in instrumental music education. Moving forward, I will be pursuing a teaching career. I know that when I find a job, I will love it. I can't wait to decorate my classroom and make it my own. I also plan to seek higher education, which will open even more doors for me. On top of all this, I hope to continue performing. Regardless of what I do, I know I will find my place and be happy with it. Congratulations to the class of 2024. Now let's go show the world what we're made of. Wings up.
I want to say thank you to my mom and dad and my grandparents for always being there for me and supporting me throughout my education. Thank you all so much.
Good morning. I'm President Phil Oldham, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the first ceremony of Tennessee Tech University's spring commencement.
Please bow with me. Great God, we take these next moments now to honor you. It's by your grace and mercy that we are here today on this very special occasion. Your presence in both seen and unseen ways has allowed for this day to come to pass. We thank you for that, God. Along with that thanks, we ask for your hand to be upon this commencement ceremony and to be ever present in the lives of our graduates and here at Tennessee Tech for ages to come. In your name we pray. Amen.
So ladies and gentlemen, before you today, you see hundreds of men and women who have reached a very significant milestone in their journey, in their academic life at least. Today, our duty as an institution is fulfilled in them, and we recognize them as being bold, fearless, confident, and kind. So degrees today are being awarded to more than 1,400 women and men who came to Tennessee Tech from 80 counties across the state of Tennessee, 24 other states in the U.S., and 17 foreign countries. Those of you earning undergraduate degrees today represent about 52 different fields of academic study, and those of you receiving graduate degrees represent 32 different degree paths. In today's graduating class, birth dates of our students range from 1962 to 2005. Evidence that an education at Tennessee Tech can be for everyone, regardless of age. It is said that adversity doesn't create character, but it does reveal it. Today, graduates, your character is revealed for its strength, its tenacity, and its kindness. Some of you are native to Cookeville or the Upper Cumberland, and some of you are adopted residents here. Either way, this will always be home for you. You belong to this community now and to this campus. Through your dedication and service, you have significantly contributed to the strength of this community and spirit, making sure everyone knows that Cookeville is Tennessee's college town. So now today, we will celebrate. So as Tech's stature and reputation continue to grow, so does the value of your degree that you earned today. In just a few minutes, you will have a degree from one of the best universities in the state and one of the top-ranked universities in the nation, a university that gives you the highest average starting salary among public universities in Tennessee. So here's the bottom line, and what I want you to take away from today and your total experience at Tennessee Tech. You are set now to get a great return on the investment you've made here, because you have what the world wants and desperately needs, and that is very simply talent and tenacity. You have clearly demonstrated those high-value characteristics that are embodied within the degree you received today. You are and forever will be bold, fearless, confident, and kind Golden Eagles, so congratulations.
Shank will present candidates for degrees from the College of Fine Arts. Dean Shank.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in art and music please stand? Fields of study that bring inspiration, joy, and beauty to others, and you bring a professional approach to your work. I am confident that you will represent the university at the highest level, and I am honored to be your dean. Associate Provost Russell, for each of the candidates who has fulfilled the requirements established by the College of Fine Arts, it is my privilege to represent these candidates for graduation on behalf of the faculty of the College of Fine Arts.
Thank you, Dean Shank. Candidates, please be seated. morning section of the spring graduating class please stand together? President Oldham, in the name of the faculty, I have the privilege of presenting the spring section of the class of 2024, and for each who has completed the requirements for the degree for which he or she is a candidate, on behalf of the faculty, I recommend that the appropriate degree be conferred.
On the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me from Tennessee Tech Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon each of you, as well as each candidate graduating in absentia, the degree for which you have been recommended, as evidence that you have fulfilled all the requirements thereof, and that you are entitled to all the rights, responsibilities, and privileges pertaining to that degree. I will now present to each of you the diploma cover of this university. Graduates, as recognition of having received your degrees, you may now move your tassel to the left side of your mortarboard. Congratulations.
Joshua Eldridge, Mary McCready, Connor Burnett, Amy McCawn, Jenna Lee Barnhart, cum laude.
Lily Bell Summey. Zachary S. Pritchard. Aliyah Renee Edmondson.
Let's give these graduates one more round of applause. Graduates, if you didn't know it already, this is your day. We are so incredibly proud of each of you, Tennessee Tech's newest alumni. As we close this ceremony this morning, I certainly want to express my best wishes to each of you. There are a few verses in Isaiah chapter 40 that seem appropriate for an occasion like this, especially here at Tennessee Tech. We are the Golden Eagles. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young people stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Class of 2024, it is time for you to go forth and soar on those eagle wings. So congratulations. Now I'd like to ask the audience to all rise, along with the graduates, and join the graduating class and faculty in singing the Tennessee Tech hymn,
The quiet hills stand steadfast round walls of russet brown, on halls Surrey and campus green, the smoky hills look down, and steadfast
prepare.